video, we want to look at the gross specimen of acute appendicitis. So basically, first let us look at the normal things about appendix. So basically here you can see that this is the cecum, this is the small intestine, this is the cecum, and here you have the appendix, correct? Okay. And here you have the appendicular artery which is supplying the appendix, right? From where is this appendicular artery coming? It seems to be coming from the superior mesenteric artery becomes ileocolic artery. So it is very easy, the names are very easy. Ileocolic artery, this is the ileum, this is the cecum, ileocolic artery. So here there are some other information that we can just learn as a revision of anatomy, right? It's a worm-like diverticulum, vermiform appendix. There is some valve of Gerlach, okay? And they are saying that this is the mesoappendix, this attached to the appendix. Most common position they are telling retrocolic, behind, and the next most common is pelvic, 4 o'clock position. 12 o'clock position is most common, 4 o'clock position is second common. So basically here you can see that base of appendix has been marked here, isn't it? Base of appendix, valve of Gerlach, base or orifice or valve of Gerlach, and here is the McBurney's point, that is, you take the umbilicus and the right anterior superior iliac spine. So from the umbilicus to the right anterior superior iliac spine, 2/3 and 1/3 you will divide, 1/3 towards the right anterior superior iliac spine. That will give you the McBurney point. It is the site of the maximum tenderness. This is the site of the maximum tenderness in case of appendicitis. So currently we are trying to discuss the pathology of acute appendicitis. So it's better you know the McBurney point. This is the appendix normal histology. Okay. So you should be able to see the mucosa, submucosa, germinal centers, serosa, right? Okay, are you recording? Okay, so basically here they have marked the mucosa, submucosa. In the submucosa they have shown the germinal centers. Then you have the muscularis externa, subserosa, peritoneum. Okay. So the normal appendix structure, if you draw, how it will be: smaller lumen. Here you have the columnar epithelium, crypts, columnar epithelium. Then you have the lymph nodes with germinal centers, that is the submucosa. Then you have the muscularis externa and the serosa. Okay. So the lamina propria has many lymphoid follicles. Lymphoid follicles can extend to submucosa. Here, muscular layer, you remember, you have inner circular, outer longitudinal. So inner circular and outer longitudinal. So longitudinal has been drawn as circles, right, because it's cross section. So inner circular, outer longitudinal, muscularis externa. So now we have to discuss what? Acute appendicitis, correct? So basically what is appendicitis? Appendicitis is basically the acute inflammation. We are talking about acute here. Inflammation of the appendix. It is very common, okay, for people who are surgeons, right? They would have seen a lot of cases like this. And it is seen mostly in young adults, okay? And appendix is considered as a vestigial organ. First of all, why does it happen? Etiopathogenesis, let us see. Like obstructive can be there, obstructive causes and non-obstructive causes. Obstructive causes can be like fecolith, something to do with the fecus maybe. Calculi, foreign body tumor, worms like Enterobius vermicularis, some worms can be there, Enterobius vermicularis. Diffuse lymphoid hyperplasia, so Enterobius vermicularis. So there can be worms causing it. diffuse lymphoid hyperplasia. Non-obstructive can be hematogenous spread of generalized infection. So this will be a non-obstructive thing, infection. Vascular occlusion, inappropriate diet lacking roughage. So there is less of roughage here in the diet. So Enterobius vermicularis is actually these thread worms, right? They're also called as pinworms, if I'm not wrong. They're also called as pinworms, right? Pinworm or threadworm. This is Enterobius vermicularis. It is going to, the habitat is large intestine, and the cecum and the appendix it loves. Okay. So basically, if somebody asks you the causes for appendicitis, you should immediately say it could be fecalith, calculi, foreign body tumor. All these are obstructing. Even worms can obstruct. And lymphoid hyperplasia, all these are obstructive. Now moving on to the non-obstructive, you have infection, like hematogenous spread of generalized infection, vascular occlusion, but this is not mentioned as an obstructive thing, inappropriate diet. Okay. So what exactly are you going to see in the gross? So basically it depends on the stage at which the acute inflamed appendix is examined. In acute appendicitis, the organ is swollen. So the organ should be swollen because it is an inflammation, itis, right? Acute appendicitis. So it is swollen. The serosa shows hyperemia. So they're talking about so many layers are there, right? Mucosa, submucosa. So they're saying the serosa shows hyperemia, and there can be suppurative, there can be pus, right? Pus can be there, suppurative appendicitis can be there. The serosa is coated with fibrinopurulent exudate. So there can be fibrin and pus. So fibrinopurulent exudate can be there. Engorged vessels can be there on the surface, right? And in advanced cases, there can be gangrene, okay? So there can be necrosis, gangrene, necrosis can be there, okay? So basically, gross, what will you see? Whatever we have told now, same thing you tell them, okay, in the exam. So serosa will have what? Hyperemia. The surface will show basically enlarged vessels, right? That's what it said. Then you will see fibrinopurulent exudate. Then there can be necrosis, gangrene. Basically it will be swollen, okay? Now let us see what we will see microscopically. Here you have acute appendicitis. Here you can see the mucosa, all the layers you can see here, right? These seem to be the crypts, correct? You can see the crypts. You should be seeing the germinal centers, etc. First, let us understand the microscopy in acute appendicitis. Wait. So here they are showing that there is exudate in the lumen, full of neutrophils. Remember neutrophils? Lot of neutrophils, necrotic mucosa. Again, they are showing neutrophils in the inside the layers also, not just in the lumen. Then here you have the lymphoid follicles. Then here you have the transmural neutrophilic infiltration. You have the congested blood vessels. That's what they said, hyperemia, right? So fill it with lot of neutrophils, guys. So basically, if this specimen is given, how will you say? This is a appendectomy specimen. So after doing appendectomy, you're getting the specimen. Normally, appendix is about 9 centimeter, they are saying, and diameter will just be 5 millimeter. Okay. So here, how will you explain the gross? It is going to be swollen, right? Then externally, you will see that there is engorged vessels, right? And then you will add here that it can be dilated. There will be fibrinopurulent exudate from the serosa. There can be hyperemia in the serosa. If you cut it, what can you see? If it is fecalith because of the stones, because of hard feces, then probably you will see fecalith. Otherwise, you should be seeing calculi, foreign body tumors, worms, diffuse lymphoid hyperplasia, right? Now, if they ask you microscopically, what will you see? Lot of neutrophil infiltration in the muscularis, right? So basically acute inflammatory changes, congestion, edema. Then after some time in the late stages, you will see the mucosa will be sloughed off. There will be necrosis, right? If there is some foreign body or fecalith, then there can be concretion may be seen in the lumen. So now what will be the clinical features if they ask? Then you will say colicky pain around the umbilicus, right? McBurney's point you will say. Then you will talk about fever, abdominal tenderness, increased pulse rate, neutrophilic leukocytosis, right? So you will see a lot of neutrophils in the blood, neutrophilia you will see. Now what else? In acute attack, this is what they are saying. Now if it becomes later stage following acute attack, then there will be fibrosis, healing, chronic inflammation. But here we are talking about acute appendicitis, remember. So what are the complications now they will ask if you leave this. Now what and all complications can occur because of appendicitis? So peritonitis can occur, abscess can occur, right? Peritonitis, abscess, adhesions, and portal phlebitis, mucocele, all these can happen. So if it is acute appendicitis, what will be the complications? Complications you will see will be peritonitis, then you will see appendix abscess, then you will see adhesions, portal phlebitis. That is, what is this? Portal phlebitis. Spread of infection into mesenteric veins may produce septic phlebitis and liver abscess. That's an easier word to remember. Then mucocele. So basically, distension of the distal appendix by mucus. Okay, it's referred to as mucocele. Now if this gets infected, it will become empyema of appendix. Okay. Then they may ask you what and all other pathologies, what other pathologies you know about appendix. So you can say there can be carcinoid tumors, there can be adenocarcinoma, there can be pseudomyxoma peritoni. So basically it just goes from here, there, anywhere, right? They can ask whatever they want. So what and all they will say, tumors like carcinoid tumor, cyst adenoma, adenocarcinoma, pseudomyxoma peritoni. So basically this can accompany appendiceal tumors. What is this first of all? Pseudomyxoma peritoni basically is accumulation of gelatinous mucinous ascites. Mucinous collection is generally secondary to the appendiceal neoplasm. Okay. So they are trying to say that this usually accompanies the tumors. So let's not put it here at all. Okay. So what exactly are they telling this is? Accumulation of gelatinous mucinous ascites, is it? So basically pseudomyxoma peritoni is actually, if you read in the internet, it says it is a rare cancer of appendix. But what the textbook says is this can contain normal cells or tumor cells. Okay. But remember it has some gelatinous mucinous substance which can lead to ascites. See, basically they are telling here that this can contain acellular, it can be acellular, no cells at all, or it can contain tumor cells. Okay. So basically that was about if this gross specimen is asked, then what will you tell? So if acute appendicitis is given, so basically you will explain that this is an appendectomy specimen measuring so and so. You will have to mention the dimensions. You will have to mention the gross, that is externally it is swollen and surface will have engorged vessels. Cut will show exudate, which could be purulent if it is infection, right? And basically inside there can be congested vessels, hyperemia, and what else? You can say that if it is containing hard stools, then it is called fecalith. Otherwise, it can be a foreign body, or there can be tumor, or anything can be there. Now, when you go to tumor, they will ask you what are the tumors of appendix. Those you should know. So you can have adenocarcinoma. What were the tumors, guys? Carcinoid tumor, adenocarcinoma, pseudomyxoma peritoni. Then you will utter this word pseudomyxoma peritoni. They'll ask you what it is. So you should know all that. So then they will ask you the microscopy. You will say that there is transmural neutrophilic infiltration. Then there can be exudate in the lumen if it is infective, because this is acute condition, right? So there can be congested blood vessels, right? So you can mention a lot of inflammatory material here, okay? So that's all for now, guys. We will meet you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.